Hey everyone, welcome to this Thursday night live stream. We are on Thursday night live stream, episode 55. Let me know in the comments if you can hear me all right. I had some issues in my music intro, was sort of cutting in and out, so just let me know if there's anything wrong going there. I don't know if it's on my side only or on this live stream side as well. First thing I want to do first is show you the membership, and I will be straight back. So, you want to join my membership?
Gotcha. Sign up.
By joining, you won't only unlock members-only content, you'll also be supporting my channel and the growth of the community. Are you ready to do your part?
I'm doing my part.
For as little as a price of coffee a month.
God damn, Jimmy. This some serious gourmet shit.
You'll be able to access all past live streams and get exclusive members-only content.
Yeah, boy.
That's less than 49p a video.
Shut up and take my money.
So if you're ready, join now and become part of this 3D journey.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Right, so as you saw there, you become a member of the YouTube channel and you can unlock the live stream events from Mondays, the tutorial style live streams. That's to unlock the Dragon tutorial and the Anatomy tutorial, as well as the Doom tutorial, which we just started. If you want, you can also become a Patreon tier level 3, and you'll get exclusive tutorials such as the Velociraptor tutorial, where you get to sculpt the Velociraptor from beginning to end. Beginner to experienced artists can follow along to it. It's great because you get a cool looking model at the end in your portfolio. It can also, the tier 3 also are working on a golem rock monster for their Patreon tier level 3, where you get to see me show you how to do hard surface texturing using basic brushes inside of ZBrush. All right, cool. Yeah, I still have an issue with my sound. I don't know what it is on my end. I think it's just the Bluetooth from my headphones aren't working very well. But I'll just leave it. I'll just leave it as it is for now. Just put some music on, and turn on. There we are. Can you guys hear that? All right, I'm just going to leave it as is. Apparently it's working from your guys' view, but if it isn't, just let me know at any point during this live stream if it's conking out or if my audio's conking out for you. Okay, cool. So yeah, let's get into it. I'm gonna jump straight in. Where's my Wacom pen gone? There it is. Yeah, so last week we started by going into Photoshop. By the way, hello to Joseph and hello Celestials, nice to see you here again. So last week we jumped into Photoshop and we started to do some paint overs, because it's really, if you're doing this sort of off memory and not via concept, it's best to at some point during the block out stage take it into Photoshop, especially if you're not quite certain how things are sort of supposed to be blocked out, I guess. It's a good idea to take it into Photoshop and do some paint overs and some sort of design that you'd be happy with before going any further with the block out stage, so you can actually focus your model into something that looks like it could be viable as a piece of armor, especially if it's hard surface armor stuff. Sci-fi armor in this case. So that's what we did on last Thursday. We spent the whole live stream doing these drawings, and so tonight I just want to take it into ZBrush and adjust the armor we have on these images to our model. Before we do that, I'm just going to minimize this real quick, because I want to show you something that I found online. I was snooping around looking for sci-fi sort of clothing and sci-fi armor, right? And I came across, let me just open the scene first. All right, just going to pull this to one side once it's opened. I came across on Sketchfab, I think it's a Sketchfab, the Halo armor. Oh god, why is this not maximizing? All right, the Halo armor, there you go. I'm just going to make this full quality. All right, cool. So I came across this free download, and I decided I was going to download it. I was going to show you guys because I think it's really good to have these sort of things that you can download for free if you ever get stuck with the kind of thing that you want to create, especially if it's sci-fi armor, because there's so many different parts to it, right? But a great thing about this model is if I go to the scene and I open up Halo's suit, if I turn off the body, it gives me the underlining suit, right, of the what do you call it, well, the underlining suit of the person, isn't it? It's the sort of skin before the armor plating goes on top. You can also turn off the helmet, but there's nothing underneath it, which is kind of funny. And then you can also see, if you sort of imagine, we were looking at the armor and I was telling you how it's difficult to tell what parts are the armor and what parts are the underlining suit. Well, with this one, you can actually turn off the suit, underlining suit, and just see the big shapes that come about for the pieces of armor that you want to try and sculpt, right? So now I can actually come in here, because remember last week or the week before I said it was a bit difficult to see through the 2D images how to do the feet. Well, with this one I can now zoom in on the foot itself and have a look at the foot in real time in Marmoset Toolbag and see just how these shapes are made. And it's a great way to sort of keep on track, as well as to have someone else's interpretation of the model in a 3D view, so that you can, you know, sort of spin around it and just see how things look. It's also great for when it comes to the detailing the panels and stuff. You'll see all these, get my pen out. You can see all these little panel lines that they've sculpted into the model. You know, surface detail. It's really good for that as well. So you can always come back to it and check on it in a later time. So I just wanted to share with you that, because it's really interesting. It's not just that one I have as well. I've got I think these are actually the game ready versions, by the way, or the game ready assets. But I've also got the Master Chief himself through Sketchfab. I think it's Sketchfab. Yeah, it must be Sketchfab. And again, this one, you can kind of see... now, this one doesn't have a very good sort of system in here, because they're all sort of pieces of... split into pieces, right? So you got the arms, the legs, and whatnot. So it's not very good for getting rid of these big sort of chunky armor pieces. But it's still great to sort of zoom in and just see how things have sort of sculpted on him, right? I particularly love the suit armor here. Remember how we were mentioning a couple of weeks ago how does this character sort of rotate the midriff if there's got huge armor plating there? Well, it's difficult to see that in photos sometimes, what that material is. So grabbing an actual model for free and then being able to rotate around it, you can kind of, you know, see how things look around the whole piece. And you can see here, if we were to sort of get a picture of his side, let's say, from the internet, it's kind of difficult to see what's going on with this arm in the way. Now, sometimes they might turn off the arm, so they might do something like this, so you can see the side, but that's on a rare occasion that happens. So with that arm, you know, being there, we can actually come in here in the 3D view and sort of come in really close and see what's going on in these sort of areas. So yeah, really interesting interesting how they allow this actually to be a free download online, which is strange. You'd think that they would probably get in trouble for that, but hey ho. Not gonna complain. Okay, so that was that. So I just went in and I took some screen grabs of the other suit with the pieces, the full piece, then there's separate pieces, just as a bit more reference for this guy. Yeah, make this smaller. Okay. But the first thing we need to do is, again, block out, using this as a reference, block out those shapes that we drew inside of Photoshop. Define this piece a bit more. So let's check at the questions quick. So Cakester, nice to see you again. What software do you have open at the moment? Oh, that was Marmoset Toolbag. Cakester, it's Marmoset Toolbag. Thank you, Joseph. Cool. Yeah, all caught up. All right. Right. Is that music on still? Or did I turn that off? Okay, yeah, it's sort of breaking up my end. Never mind. All right, so I hope everyone's having a good week, by the way. As much as of a good week as you can have with what's going on in the world right now, but you know, hopefully everyone's staying safe and you know, getting on with the day-to-day, I guess. All right, so I'm going to start off with the chest piece, or the mid-section chest piece. I'm just going to try to get this done as fast as I can, because I don't really want to spend too much time doing this all the time. We want to move on and get things done quicker. Yes, Celestial, I will share a link to that. I'll put it in the Discord. I'll put it in the Discord after this live stream. Just remind me at the end of this live stream or before you leave to put the link in there, and I'll put the link in there for you. Okay. Right. We kind of want to define, because we got quite a good block out, but we now need to define the sort of hard edges and soft edges for this guy, or hard pieces and soft pieces. So taking that advice from looking at that model, I kind of want to make the middle piece here less hard surface and more soft surface. And this will grow along the side here as well. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to smooth out all the soft areas, right? That I know to be a soft area. Just solo that. Here. Okay. So I'm trying to get this a little thinner around here. Oh, we were looking at angles as well, weren't we? So we were trying to think of ways to make this a bit more, what was the word? Industrial, sort of thing. Instead of being, this is difficult. Instead of being alien tech, smooth, round pieces, you know, really sleek designs like the Covenant from Halo, okay? We want more of an industrial style model, or an industrial style armor that is more relatable to the humans or Master Chiefs type style, the Spartans. So yeah, so what we want to do is try to give these edges a bit more of a sharper tack to them, rather than softy. Yeah, so I'm just gonna start to get some angles. Oh fuck, one second, you turn the back face masking on. Get some angles into this, to this collar piece. So there's an angle. The chest piece, what we do in the chest piece? Grab it down standard. Oh, by the way, I saw that on Netflix they had the dinosaur show. Have you the dinosaurs? Have you seen that on Netflix? Any of you guys seen that on Netflix? Short documentary is from Steven Spielberg. Documentary. I think one of my friends from DNEG worked on that when it was being made. One of the artists was responsible for some of those dinosaurs. But anyway, really, really good. I love the way, because they are... Has anybody ever seen the original Walking with Dinosaurs? Walking with Dinosaurs show. BBC, I think it was. Oh, wait. Got some questions here. Kaser says, weird timing that you're sculpting a Halo-inspired model. I literally finished watching the Halo TV series about 2 days ago. Oh, wow. What do you think of that? I was told it wasn't very good, but let me know what you thought about that. Sergio says, I haven't seen it, and it must be the dinosaur show. I didn't see that, but it's on my watch list. Yeah, so, yeah, definitely 100% worth the watch. It's got the voice of Morgan Freeman, you know, God himself. I don't know if anyone's too young to remember, what was that film called? Is it not? It was Bruce Almighty and Kevin Almighty or something, wasn't it? Or something like that. The other one. But he played God, basically. He played the version, sort of comedic version of God in those films, and he just has this amazing voice. It's kind of, you know, David Attenborough is the guy for nature shows, right? He is the top guy for narrating nature shows. But I think that what's his face, Morgan Freeman, is the voice for dinosaur shows. Like, you know, he just has that amazing deep voice, and he can make a boring scene seem interesting, you know. Anyway, that's enough about his voice, but yeah, the actual show itself is just a brilliant show to watch. The approach they took was interesting with the dinosaurs. I'm not going to ruin it too much, but they had a very particular way they wanted to sort of depict them, I guess, which I found was quite cool. And the sort of movements that the dinosaurs had were very interesting. And you'll kind of, it's kind of sort of, what do you call it? It's kind of shown at the end of the series, at the last episode. You know, you kind of get a feeling, oh, that's why they move, or that's why they are like that, right? I'm not going to spoil it for anyone, but yeah, it's a very well made show. I think it was originally made for Apple TV, but I think Netflix might have bought the rights to it or something, which is funny, because eventually everything lands up on bloody Netflix, doesn't it? Let's be honest. If you just wait long enough, you'll see everything on Netflix. Okay, so says a 6 out of 10 for Halo. It was meh. Yeah, that's what I kind of thought. You know, meh. I think the worst thing they could do with the Halo TV series is take the goddamn helmet off his head. Why? I mean, I know why, because he wants to. He said it in an interview once, didn't he? He said he wanted to. He said something along the guy who played the Halo Master Chief said. He said that he couldn't show emotion through a helmet. That's why they took the helmet off, or something to that effect. And I was just thinking to myself, well, that's absolute bullshit, because Halo, Master Chief in Halo, especially the latest one, Halo 5, I think it was. So many of them. In Halo 5, you know, when he's in that big green suit, the one I just showed you. Let me just show you. this guy, this one here, this version of Halo. I'm not sure because there's so many different types of Halo. This one here. The actor is talking absolute bullshit because in Halo 5 he never takes his helmet off, and the amount of scenes where his presence was portrayed through the sort of still armor type thing, and you could kind of tell that if he was angry or if he was solemn or if he was sad. You know, in actual fact, they actually made him less emotional in the games, and so he was just a very stern, you know, soldier type thing. But the fact that you couldn't, that they said he couldn't show emotion through the suit, so he had to take the helmet off, that's just absolute bullshit. The only reason he took that off is because he wanted, and the production wanted them to show who the Master Chief was. It's ridiculous. It's like I think it's like the superhero films, Marvel films. They're constantly taking their helmets off or their masks off because they want to show the actor. But I mean, it's like if you ever watched the comic books or read the comic books, they hardly took their helmets off or hardly took their costumes off and stuff, you know. I don't know. I think it's all bullshit. I think the one person who could actually prove it is all bullshit is the guy who played Dredd. He also played, was it Eomer in Lord of the Rings? He basically just said, yeah, I on that Dredd film, he just said, yeah, I didn't want to take the helmet off because I wanted to keep it as authentic to the comic books or the what do you call it, graphic novels as much as possible, and that actually made the film 10 times better, you know. It's just, I think actors or production, they just like to screw things up, you know. They just like to, they never like to listen to the audience or the fan base when it comes to these massive IPs that they've bought, and then they go ahead and they do stupid things with those IPs, and they get backlash from the fans, and they wonder why they get the backlash. Kater says, I haven't seen the dinosaurs yet. I'm not a fan of Morgan Freeman as a narrator, honestly. More of a David Attenborough fan. Yeah, I get that, but I think it's nice to have Morgan Freeman doing the dinosaurs because David Attenborough is more of a nature, like nowadays nature. But his voice is so, you know, it just fits so well with the theme of the show, basically. Celestial says there's a theory that dinosaurs originally had feathers. I wonder if that's how it was. I'm not gonna spoil anything. You're gonna have to watch the CB series to find out. Casey says, yeah, right. I was confused when he took the helmet off and then had it off for most. Yeah, I told you, it was rubbish. It would have been even more impactful if he just left the goddamn helmet on. Celestial says the one who shouldn't take off his helmet is Mandalorian. Same thing. But like I said, actors cannot help themselves. They have to have their face shown. I guess it adds to their bill, or you know, to their pay pack if they have their face shown. So maybe that's why they take the fucking helmet off. Casey says it's like the Witcher TV series. They just screwed it up by going too far away from the actual story. Now, I'm not a massive, I haven't got a big knowledge about The Witcher. I must admit. I have the game Wild Hunt, I believe it's called. I turned it on. I played like half an hour to an hour of it. I've never played it. Haven't played it since. I've heard that it's very good, but I just can't seem to get myself into that sort of game. I don't know. Maybe it's just I'm just not into those sort of massive world games. I'm not a massive fan of the knights in shining armor sort of era. Anyway, I know it's not a knight in shining armor, but it's in that sort of realm of time. You know, like the plague and that sort of thing. I'm just not into that when it comes to games. I guess. But I have heard good things about it. Maybe I'll try it one day when I don't have enough, when I don't have like things to do. Because I guess it's one of those games you really have to sit down and play and remember the storylines. Otherwise, you'll be like jumping back into it and forgetting half the shit that you're supposed to remember, you know? It's kind of like Fallout. That's one game I do like. Fallout, where you sit there, you play it for hours, and then you sort of get bored of it, you go away from it, and then you come back to it like a month later, and you've completely forgotten what the hell you've done in that game and where you are. And it takes like another month or another couple of hours to figure out where the hell you were and what you were doing. And sometimes you're halfway through a quest and you forget, you know. Ugh. Slasher says Darth Vader and Shredder are fine without showing faces. Yeah, exactly. I think it was alright to show Darth Vader's face when he died, but not when he was alive, you know. Obviously, when he died, it was fine to show his face, but definitely not when he was alive. And Shredder's an interesting one. I like the original Shredder from the 1990s, the 90s film, the first 90s film. In fact, I like all that film in its entirety, really. I wasn't a massive fan of the remake. I think that was poorly executed. And I think they could have maybe got away with just having them in big rubber suits again. I mean, those rubber suits, they were very advanced rubber suits. To be able to move, to get those movements that they wanted out of the actor from those rubber suits is just crazy. Like actual martial arts moves and stuff. So I think they should bring that back. Bring them back in the rubber suits. It's about time we go back to the basics, right? Maybe a bit of a wrong thing to say if you're an artist, a CGI artist, but maybe we should go back to practical effects more. But you didn't hear that from me because I can't say that out loud. But the way things are going, we probably will go back to fucking practical because everything costs too much in CGI these days, isn't it? Anyway. Caster says, yeah, which is like 150... What? 150 hours long? And quite overwhelming. Yeah, see, I can't get into that. 150 hours? You know, if during lockdown, right, I played video games instead of making the YouTube channel, I would not be here right now with you guys with such a big sort of following and being able to show you guys how things are done in sort of like the industry side thing. If I, like I said, if I sat down during lockdown and just played video games, I think I wouldn't have this channel. I wouldn't be doing this. I'd probably, I don't know, still be pretty bad in my career sort of thing. So that's why I tend to stay away from big games like that, because at the end of the day, it's fun to have video games and time to play video games and stuff like that, but also you can't waste your time. You can't waste too much of your time playing games all the time. You gotta if you want to be the best artist, well, I mean, I'm saying this now because I'm saying this now, but with fucking AI along the way, who knows how long it's going to last. But in the meantime, if you want to be the best CGI artist, then you need to stop playing games and start working, I guess. Kesa says, my cat jumped on my bed another night of no sleeping. Oh, damn. Is it a big cat or is it a small cat? Yeah, I've seen a lot of videos about what animals do. People will film themselves in bed, and during the night when they're sleeping, and then you get to see what the animals do that their pets do during the night. And why is it like animals sort of start to only come to life during the nighttime and not during the day? The amount of videos I've seen with just cats and dogs jumping on their owners and playing with them during the night when they're trying to sleep is just crazy. I just go crazy. I would go nuts. I can't have that on me. Jason says they already got AI making scenes that would previously cost studios thousands. Yeah, that's true. He says he's quite small cat, but he snuggles in really close and makes the bed extremely. Yeah, I can believe that. I had an ex-girlfriend and I used to stay around hers and sleep on the sofa, and they had a black cat, and I would just wake up like in the middle of the night like sweating, and I looked down in the crook of my arm and it was this cat just sort of sleeping in my arm, in the crook of my arm. And I was thinking, oh god, this thing's boiling. It's like a mini water bottle, but without the need for the water. I do like cats. If I didn't have a sibling who was allergic to cats, I think I'd have a cat myself. But I think I just can't afford one either. Like, they're very expensive animal pets, aren't they? At the end of the day, and I just can't afford to have a pet at the moment. Right, going to. I quite like the short back of his suit there, instead of having like a long one. So I'm going to leave it quite short, more tactile than the Halo version. Okay, that's pretty cool. Cakester says she has a cat too. It's too cute. Yeah, you're lucky. Lucky. Although I don't know. I think I'm just too much of a clean freak as well. I know that cats, you have to kind of clean the place quite often with cats around, all that. So I've sort of seen or heard. I don't know. Bit of a clean freak. So don't know how we'll go with pets. I had a goldfish once, and it lasted for like 3 years. Fucking huge. Of course, it was only after like the second year that I figured out that if you buy a tank for a goldfish, it will try to grow to fill that tank. But I actually bought 2 tanks, so this little guy was huge. Acted like a dog as well. If you put your hand near the surface of water, it would immediately go there and sort of wait for food, and yeah, it was crazy. Okay, so says, now cats are very clean animals. You might have to hoover a bit more. From other than that, you should be good. Yeah, that's fair enough. I think I'm a bit afraid to have them because I don't have very good, like, what do you call it, wire cable management under my desk right now. Is just fucking everywhere, just wires going from left to right. I'm just afraid that if you had like a cat or a dog, they just go straight for it. Especially cats. I heard that they love to go for wires. So yeah, it would be very very good. I'll just electrocute it. I'll probably electrocute it too many times. But yeah, maybe in another life I'll get a cat or a dog. Dogs are harder to look after, I guess, because you have to actually take them out and sort of walk them and clean up after them and stuff. Yeah. If I lived in the countryside, if I lived in a farm, a massive like farm or cottage, then I'd definitely buy a dog. But I wouldn't want to buy a dog for like a flat, because you know you kind of just, it's kind of disappointing for the dog. It doesn't have a big enough room to stretch and move around and stuff like that. So it's not very nice to have I think it's not very nice to have a dog for a flat. Or you know, it depends on the size of the dog, obviously, but I don't. Yeah, if I was to get like a proper dog, not one of those small ones, then I'd feel very sorry that it was stuck indoors all day in a small flat. So yeah. Okay. So we've done some quick cleanup in these areas. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. Let's just go around the back again. So we actually added a plate in the back here, where the back side is. So I'm going to add that in now. So pencil that in now. Like that. Fill that in. Remember, this is just a concept sculpt. We're not thinking of taking this as far as the models that we saw earlier today. This is literally just supposed to be something to have as a concept. Okay. Celestial says, if I had a farm, I'd buy a horse. I used to ride horses back in my school days. Oh, nice. Yeah, horses are too big for me. What was it on the in that film Sherlock Holmes? Has anyone seen that film Sherlock Holmes? The Game of Shadows, I think it's called. When he's sort of talking to when they go to the gypsies and they have to sort of break their way into Germany, I think it was. And the only way he could do that was via horse, but Sherlock Holmes, he doesn't do horses because they're... Oh, how did he say it? Someone help me with this one. They are dangerous in the front and back and mischievous in the middle, I think it was. I can't remember the exact phrasing he said, but yeah, I just found that really funny. And then they gave him a small pony. I think they're making another, they're thinking about, or talks are in there. There's talks about making a third Sherlock Holmes, which I think would be quite fun. I like those Sherlock Holmes films. It kind of came at the right time, you know, with the right actor. I think Robert Downey Jr. was a good actor for Sherlock Holmes. What do you guys think of the Sherlock Holmes films? Did you guys enjoy that one, or? Was it not your cup of tea? Okay, it's not bad. Not bad at all. Right, let's look at our legs now. Ugh, the legs. Cakester, you haven't seen them. Oh, have you seen the Harry Potter films yet? That was your assignment during the Christmas period, to see the Harry Potter film. See at least one. Oh, Christ. You should definitely see that. You should definitely see the oh, what do they call it? Sherlock Holmes films. That's the one. They are very good. Well, I think so anyway. Okay, we're gonna pull those down. Clean all this up. Bring it lower. We brought this lower because it will give a more realistic movement in these sort of areas where there's a lot of movement. It's always difficult getting into the legs and between the legs there. Maybe we'll have to delete one half and then just mirror over once we've finished it. Oh dear, Cakester. Celestials, sorry. So there's a young Sherlock Holmes series this year. Young Sherlock series. I think I've seen that advertised. It's not a young. He's like a young man, right? It's not like he's a child. I'm not sure because I think it already had one of those. Joseph says, really wanted to like them and gave a few shots for them, but those movies for me, like the Witcher game to you. Oh, fair enough. The actors were brilliant. I agree with that. You know what I like about the Sherlock Holmes films? It's not just the time it's set in and the actors that are portraying the characters. It's the music. The musical scores in Sherlock Holmes are beautiful. Just like in Pirates of the Caribbean. What was the other ones? I mean, you've got Star Wars, obviously. Gladiator. All those types of films, they have really beautiful orchestral music to them. The Hobbit and stuff like that. And I think that's what when you watch Sherlock Holmes films, when they bring in that ding 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 ding, it's kind of like the Russian song where they do that sort of dance, the Russian dance sort of thing. Ding 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 ding. It sort of builds up faster and faster. Well, it's the same thing with the Sherlock Holmes song. It kind of starts off with that really cool. I don't know what instrument it is. Is it a violin or is it a? I don't know. I can't remember which one it is, but yeah, it's got that really good like beginning beat to it, and it just gets you. It sort of sets the mood, sets the scene. Yeah, saying says yeah, Hans Zimmer. Yeah, that's the one. The music was awesome. I think it's Hans Zimmer. Oh, hello, Tomorrow. Nice to see you. Nice to see you in here. Were you here all the time, or you just popped in? Hans Zimmer did Shark Films. Yeah, I love doing that though. I like when I'm working work to switch off from the news of the day or the bollocks on the YouTube. I'll just start playing music from films, like the orchestra, massive orchestra, just live music. I think it's just really cool to hear it outside of the film. Like the Avengers, right? The Avengers score is just amazing. If you just listen to that score on its own, without the film, it just has these beats in it that just it's definitely, they definitely got the right sort of tone with those musical hits or musical pieces. So he was hiding. I avoid the news at all costs. Laughing out. I try to, but it just keeps, especially right now, the way the world's going right now, it just sort of drags you in. It just sort of blindsides you with something like that's just happened or whatever. You're just like, oh for God's sake. And then you find yourself going down another rabbit hole, and it's just like, I just wish there was less news, you know. But anyway, I don't want to go news or whatever on this channel. I think the least we can say about that sort of stuff, the better. The worst thing we can talk about on this channel is fucking AI. Right. I think it's coming along quite nicely. Getting some harder. Now that we have something to work at or look at to work from, it's easier to pick out those shapes we want. So you can see here we straightened it here, so we need to straighten it here as well. Maybe I'll just polish this so it's do we want a dead straight or do we want a bit of a curve? Trim dynamic that there. Okay, and then I'm going to H polish it back out and then back in. Again, we're not working on perfect topology yet, so you can still play around a little bit with this stuff. I tell you what I did see on YouTube, because I'm constantly trying to find things to watch, like to satisfy my cravings whilst I'm working, because you know, if you work from home, you probably know this, you kind of get bored very quickly. So I was doing my work, and I sort of stumbled across this YouTube channel that has documentaries, like short 30-minute documentaries about films, which is, you know, quite cool. Basically, it was specifically the face hugger from Alien. This YouTube channel has multiple documentaries about Alien. So you'll get one that's just the face hugger, or you'll get one that's just the chest burster, or one that is just the crew, the ship, the alien itself, sort of split into nice manageable bite-sized chunks, right? And I was watching the one about the face hugger. Oh, that was crazy. H. Geiger, is it H. Geiger? Yeah, H. Geiger. He is an amazing artist, and he was also trained by Salvador Dali, I believe. That's what they mentioned. Anyway, yeah. So he's got some I bet he's got some skeletons, that guy, in his closet. There's no way you could come up with the sort of designs he's come up with in his life without having some sort of traumatic past. That is some screwed up stuff he's got in his imagination. But, you know, if it wasn't for that, it wouldn't have made they wouldn't have made the alien the way they had. In this documentary, there's this really cool part where H. Geiger was supposed to do the concept work for the Alien film and was specifically headhunted at the beginning, but the people at Fox, I think it was Fox, or yeah, the producers or whatever, or the head guys, head honchos, whatever, they didn't like H. Geiger's work. H. Geiger sort of sent them a preview of his work, right? Apparently, the preview that he sent them was so disturbing that it couldn't pass through customs, so they had to physically go down to the airport and pick up the concept work, and to prove that it is just concept work, because it was so sort of daunting, this work that he created. I think it was the facehugger. The sort of the visuals were just, it was too grotesque back then. I mean, that's funny though when you think about it, because today, if you just go on ArtStation, you can see even more grotesque things. But back then, H. Geiger's stuff was supposedly the most grotesque thing anybody had ever seen. So it's so grotesque that they couldn't get through customs. Anyway, where was I about that? Yeah, H. Geiger has some skeletons, I tell you, in his closet. But the producers of Alien sort of were against having Geiger join the team, right? Even though his artwork was really good, and it would have been something really cool for him. And so it took Ridley Scott, when they hired Ridley Scott, it took Ridley Scott to get them on board, to get H.R. Geiger in, because what had happened was they hired another artist. I can't remember his name though, which is really bad because I should remember his name. But they hired another artist, and the aliens that he was sort of coming out with, like concept work for, was very, very what was it? It was very not slapstick, but it wasn't nightmarish horror. It was 80s horror, you know. It wasn't the sort of thing that they... Chris Foss, yeah, I think it's Chris Foss. Thanks, tomorrow. Yeah, his work wasn't as good as H. Geiger's, right? And so they saw his work, and bearing in mind, H. Geiger sent his book, the Necromona. What was that book? Very famous book. It's like Necronomica or Necro something, the name of it. So he sent them his latest art book, and apparently, what was his name? What was it? Well, I just had his name a minute ago. Director Ridley Scott. So Ridley Scott saw the Necromeda. I can't remember how it's pronounced. Anyway, he saw the book and fell in love. Necronomicon. That's the one. Thank you, Celestials. He saw the book and fell in love with it, with the sort of designs, and basically he said, "I'm not going to do this film without H. Geiger being a part of the team." And so they flew him out again. So I think it was Hollywood. Or no, wait, it wasn't Hollywood. It was London, because they were doing the film in London. And apparently he walked in there with his girlfriend or his fiance at the time, and they were both wearing all black, and the sort of aura that they sort of spewed basically was very chilling on the set, because you can imagine the sort of goth character with all these amazing but also very scary concept designs coming through the room. I mean, if you saw his concepts, you never saw the person, you would have thought this guy must be like an alien himself. And so rocking up in all black just made it even more what do you call it? Just made it more interesting, really. More of an interesting character and artist sort of thing. Okay. Tomorrow says, sorry, it was wrong Cobb. Oh, it was wrong. There was a couple of them. There was I think there was about 3 artists at the time. If I remember correctly, right, Cobb did the human ships, then Ginger did the alien stuff for intense contrast. Yeah. I think Geiger was not Ginger, Geiger, sorry. That's fine. Geiger, yeah, he was in charge of the big alien. So he started off with the facehugger, and that was his baby, basically. He loved the facehugger. He really wanted to do the facehugger. But they actually gave it to someone else. I think it might have been Ron Cobb that got the facehugger in the end. And they gave Geiger the actual alien suit to make because he was the only one that could make it, basically. But the thing is, H. Geiger would constantly sneak back into the facehugger studio and just sort of work on the facehugger as well. And it got so bad, I think they got rid of Geiger after. Well, they didn't get rid of him, but they put like I guess you could call it like a subpoena on him to not go near the facehugger studio. But yeah, it's interesting. It's a very interesting documentary. I could put it in the Discord for you guys to try and find to find and watch. It's very eye-opening. I love watching those sort of things though, like the documentaries from years ago, because at the time they couldn't tell you the exact story about what happened on the set, right? Because it's kind of like a non-disclosure agreement. But then you wait a couple of years or 10 to 20 years later, and then all the secrets start to pour out about how films were done and what happened on the set and whatnot. Kind of like that Event Horizon. Have I mentioned that to you guys? The Event Horizon? What happened on that set? I think I have. Let me know in the comments if I have, because I'm not going to say it again if I have. It's a very interesting story, the Event Horizon story. It says, Tara says, Carlo Rambaldi helped make the suit. I'm not looking this up. I actually used to know everything about Alien and aliens when I was a teenager. Oh, brilliant. Yeah. I'm going to have to take your word for it because I can't remember names. I'm very bad with names. But like I say, the Event Horizon was another really interesting story about the making of the Event Horizon film. Specifically specifically a scene that was lost to time. Well, not lost to time, but it was how can I say this? It was so gruesome that they had to cut it all out. And then they took the film reels, and stuck them in a salt mine in what was it? Was it Pennsylvania or Transylvania? Somewhere around there. I think it was Transylvania. Anyway, they had to stick it in a salt mine, and nobody can find any of that stuff because apparently I think it might have got damaged when I was there, but no one can find exactly what happened in this series of shots because it's basically lost to time. It was a very interesting set. It was what was it? It was Team 2. it was the Team 2 set. So they had obviously Team 1, which was the actual film of Event Horizon, the main story, and then they had a second set for extra pieces. And basically, I think the guy who did Resident Evil, I think it was him who was the director. Is it Wes Anderson? Not Wes Anderson, is it? Maybe. Can't remember off the top of my head. But basically, he basically said he was too busy on set 1 to get Horizon done, Event Horizon done, because Event Horizon was was not a very long production period, and they really were down to the line when making that film, coming down to the line. So he left. Paul Wes Anderson. Thank you, Tomo. Yeah, so he left the set 2 to another director and said, look, I need to be focused on set 1. Can you just get set 2 and do set 2 and just get on with it? You know what you're doing. I know what you're doing, because I hired you for the specific scene and the specific set of shots in set 2, which was basically, what was it called? It was called the Hell Orgy, I believe, off the top of my head. Yeah, I think it was nicknamed the Hell Orgy. And basically, Wes Anderson, W. Anderson, Paul Anderson, where his name is, he just said, yeah, get on with that. I'll come back and I'll just check in and make sure everything's all right. And so he just left this guy, this director, I can't remember his name, but he just left him because he originally hired him because he was very good at making horror and horror scenes, stuff that you would only see in your nightmares type thing. And so he just said, yeah, here's the plot, here's what I want in the scene, go crazy. And the stories that came out of that scene or that set were mind-boggling. Basically, the set was closed down to anybody but the people who were on the set, so no one could walk in. And it was also shot, I think it was also shot in the biggest set that Pinewood Studios, I think it was Pinewood Studios, had at the time. It was the James Bond set at Pinewood Studios, I believe. And basically, they just got a whole load of random people in the set 2, and they put blood, and they were all naked, and there was just blood and guts and everything around. It was basically a massive orgy that they filmed on set 2. And Wes Anderson, or it was Paul Anderson, sorry, came back, popped his head in, saw what was going on, walked out, and then walked to his trailer. And basically, when he got to his trailer and he walked into his trailer, there was other people in there, and they sort of saw that his face was white as a sheet from what he had seen in that set. And the thing is, we won't know what he saw because they won't, they haven't got the original film for it anymore. But it was so bad that they had to cut it down immensely, like really bad. Like, I'm talking, they had paraplegics or what are paraplegics? What are those people called without limbs? Anyway, they had like those people nude everywhere. There was literal sexual scenes in the shot, and then after the sexual scene there was what was it, disemboweling and stuff like that. And it's just like, this is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. There's actually what is his face, a critic, sorry, he's named the Critical Drinker, and he's very well known on YouTube, the Critical Drinker. And he actually did an interview with one of the sort of body double, or one of the stunt people for that shot, and she explained exactly what happened in that scene, and the sort of people that were there and whatnot. That's very interesting. You should go look him up. He's called The Critical Drinker, and he did a exclusive interview with one of the actresses that was on the scene at the day. Anyway, enough about Event Horizon. It's actually one of my favorite horror films, Event Horizon. It's another film called, what's it called? The Pandorian? Yeah, I think it's called Pandorian. Yeah, okay, so I think it's something to do with the music. You hear in the noises here and there, nothing major, just a bit. Yeah, it's as long as it's my voice okay, because as long as my voice is okay, I'm happy, because I think it's the music. I can turn the music off if it's annoying. I'll turn the music off for now. Let me know if it's any better. It just started to happen as soon as the countdown. Yeah, can't figure out why that is. All my settings are correct. It's something to do with the stream, because as soon as I turned the countdown on, when it got halfway down, it started to go fuck up the music, and I don't know why it did. But yeah, sorry about that. I don't know. It must be a StreamYard's thing. Must be a StreamYard side. Yes, tomorrow. It's called Pandorum. Yes, Pandorum had a very Event Horizon feel to it, especially at the very beginning. A very Event Horizon feel, and I think that's why I like it so much, is because it had that same sort of style as well. A very interesting film. Okay. By the way, I think I'll just show you guys real quick. Might as well show you guys. Seeing as you're all here. One of my recent pieces. Oh, I didn't turn the materials on. There we are. Camera. Do you remember this guy from... Oh, let me just go to perspective. There we are. Do you remember this guy from the live stream we did? Try to get him in frame. Why does this never work properly? Hold on guys. 1 second. Main camera. I'm gonna unlock it. Camera. Still trying to get used to this Marmoset tool bag. But yeah, so the reason I watched the Facehugger sort of history of the Facehugger is because I was also doing this Facehugger update from the there it is. So yeah, I took the Facehugger from the live stream and I took it through Substance Painter into Marmoset toolbag. It's one of those time-lapse videos, like the demon that I created. Basically taking it from ZBrush to end result with some dialogue. So you'll see that video come up soon in the near future. But yeah, I just wanted to quickly show you guys sort of outcome that came out of it. I think it came out quite nicely. I didn't actually do any other or any other sort of sculpting detail. I just left it as is, gave it some UVs and stuck it into Substance Painter. Took me about, I'm going to say, 2-3 hours to finish off. Maybe 2.5 hours to finish off. That wasn't too bad. Of course, it's still a concept piece because the tongue or that little thing in the middle there isn't going to come out. So, yeah, it's still like a concept piece, but it's just more of an interesting look, you know. And I got a couple of different lighting setups in here as well for it. As well. I quite like the darkish sort of look like this, where it's all sort of in shadow. You can really see the shapes in the shadows. I also have this plinth one. Just turn this one off. There we are. So it's on a plinth. I kind of like the back look. This sort of slimy look to it. Very sort of spider-like. Of course, the plinth has the Utani's logo on it. Wayland Utani, that's the one. Yeah, just want to quickly show you guys this. Kind of like a preview to what's coming next in the next making of video. I'm kind of going through the phase of taking my old concepts that I created through the time-lapse videos and taking them basically to final piece. So I want to do the ones that are full bodies first, because those are quite easy, because the ones that are like just busts and I have to create the whole the rest of the body, those ones are going to take a little longer to sort of figure out, because I still have to sculpt the body basically. How's my audio? Is it any better now, or is it still a bit shitty? Because if it's too bad, if it's really bad, then I can sort of end the stream tonight, and then hopefully it'll be fixed by next week. Can't believe it. It went all screw up just as I fucking go live. I can't believe that. Let me just check my I'm just gonna check my settings real quick. Microphone, no. Speaker, no, it's not that. Oh dear. All right, let me just try something real quick. Where's my headphones? Okay. Where's my Bluetooth speaking? Bluetooth settings. That's not working. I've got so many different types of so many different types of headphones here. 1 second. Try this one again. I don't know if it's the headphones that is screwing things up, or if it must be. sakes. Okay. Okay. Let's just play some music real quick and see if that worked. Okay, well, the music sounds fine now. Sounds better now on my end. Alright, I'm going to leave it like that for now then, and just wait for you guys to see if you can pick up anything in the audio your side. That's wrong. Let's select the legs. Alright, so before I sort of end the stream, I guess, I'm going to do the calves, I guess. And maybe, you know what, maybe to speed things up a little bit, I'm going to take this further in the spare time on a Tuesday, because that's the only time I have spare, and just do as much as I can to block out the rest of it, because at the moment what I'm doing, I'm just cleaning up the rest of this model, and I'll put that a little softer, it's a bit high. So I'm just cleaning up the rest of the model to the sort of what we have here on the side here. So it's kind of, it's a little bit, I don't know if it's a little bit boring for you guys, but once you've seen it once, you don't really want to see it 1,000 times. So that's what I'll do. I will spend Tuesday, my day off, getting this thing working properly, or looking more like what we've drawn out. Just to speed things up a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna keep that there. This whole piece in the front here needs to be pushed in. Alright, so it sounds like it's better. Okay, well, just keep an eye on that for me then. Let me know. Actually, I'm going to mask this out real quick. Mask out the top piece. So then I can come in and push this in. Whoops, pull it out. There we are. Okay. This is actually closed off in the back here. H polish. Yeah, because I'm not going to try to do it as detailed as the Halo suit that we saw earlier. I'm going to do quite a basic sci-fi suit, because we could be here for weeks just polishing this to a perfection. But I think people might want to move on to something different after this. Okay, so just going to come in the back here. Pencil that out. I hate doing feet. I hate them. The whole foot itself will probably need to be shaped a bit more. Yeah, I think I'm going to leave the foot alone. For now. There we are. Oh, that was the thing I was going to talk to you about. Maybe I'll leave it for another night, but I'll just ask, has anyone seen on Netflix the film War Machine? Very funny, Cakester. Has anyone else seen the film War Machine on Netflix with the guy who plays Reacher? I can't remember his name. I'm very bad with names. I really get to know people's names more. Alan, it's not Alan Rickman, it's Alan something, isn't it? Something Alan. Yeah, so oh, Joseph, you've seen it. Brilliant. What do you think about it? What are your thoughts on the film? Cakester, I don't think Richmond. Richmond? Alan Richmond? Alan Richmond. It's Alan Richmond? It must be Alan Richmond. Cakester, I'm not sure you've seen it. I'm not going to even ask you. I liked it. I liked the film. You know what it was? It was just dumb fun. Even though it wasn't really fun, it was quite explicit actually. That film. It was very. You know what it was? It was the surprise kill. It was the surprise sort of. I don't want to ruin this film for anyone who hasn't seen it yet, but it was kind of like the surprise attacks type thing. Joseph says, oops, 1 second. Joseph says, interesting movie. It was not bad. We'll watch the second movie for sure. There's a second one? Oh, there's only one. All right. Well, that's eye-opening. Didn't know there was a second one. But yeah, you know what? One of the best parts of it was actually the beginning part of it, when you see the sort of training, sort of montage type thing. Very good, very interesting. I like those sort of films. It wasn't something that was. It wasn't a boring film, that's for sure. There wasn't any scenes or anything in there that kind of just dragged on and you know, that sort of thing. It was actually it was very well paced film, I believe. Oh, it's in the works. Fair enough. Kicker says, I did see Housemaid, Shelter, Primate, Whistle and Crime 101 at the cinema in the past few months. I haven't seen any of those films. But then again, I don't actually go to the cinema that often. I just wait for it to come out on Netflix or Amazon. But Housemaid, isn't that the one with what's her face? She was in the, not a Calvin Klein advert, she was in the jeans advert. Sydney Sweeney? Isn't that the one with Sydney Sweeney in it? I could be wrong. Joseph says it's wrapped at the moment and will be released this year. Sydney Sweeney, not Sweeney Sydney. Sydney Sweeney? Yes, yeah. Was that a good film? Oh, Joseph says at the end I was almost shouting at Dennis Quaid to give that bloody Ranger patch already, and he did. Yeah, I was like, the funny one. Yeah, I'm not going to say anything, but yeah, I know what you mean by that. The amount of hell they went through to get that patch. It's crazy. Cakeser says, yes, it was a good film. Oh, good. There's only one reason you go and see a film called Housemaid, if it's got Sydney Sweeney in it. Let's be honest. She is the hot sort of actress at the moment, isn't she? The hot thing in Hollywood at the moment. Yes. Oh, I need to cut these shoes. So we need to put the triangle in the shoe. But I just want to see it. Oh, okay. Yeah, they've all got that sort of triangle cut out in the shoe, haven't they? The base of the foot. Okay, so it says, yeah, Handmaid's Tale was pretty good. I like Shelter too. It was an action film with Jason Statham. Oh, yeah. I guess. Jason Statham. Yeah, fair enough. They showed plenty of close-ups of them too. You know, I'm talking about when I say them. Yeah. I can understand. I can decipher that code. Don't worry. Shelter. Okay. Yeah. Jason Statham's gone through kind of a weird arc, hasn't he, as an actor? Well, actually, he was I think he was a swimmer, an athletic swimmer, I believe. I think he did the Olympics in swimming. Either Olympics or he was an athlete in Olympics swimming. Anyway, yeah, he's had a really weird arc, hasn't he, as an actor? One of the first ones I can remember him in, the first films he was in, was, well, I can actually remember him. There was plenty that he was in before, but the one that I could remember him in was Snatch and Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels. Those fucking brilliant films. If you haven't seen those yet, then you cannot stay here. You have to leave, because those, I mean, come on. If you're English and you haven't seen Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels, then you can't call yourself English. I'm sorry. It should be in the school curriculum to watch that film. It should be the census. It should be the thing that everyone watches as they step foot in this country. Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels. Required viewing, that's the word. Caser says, Jason is making bank. Every year he produces a film, casts himself into it, and then makes millions from it. Well, wouldn't you? I mean, you know, he's definitely coming. His shelf life is definitely coming, isn't it? Like, he can't really I don't know if he could put himself in the same sort of league as Arnold Schwarzenegger or Sylvester Stallone or Bruce Willis, you know, those action stars. So I don't think he has much time left career-wise in order to get bank. So he's just going to go hell for leather and just do as many films as he can, basically. which I guess is what everybody's doing. Every single celebrity that we used to know from the 90s, or yeah, but basically the 90s, they all coming to that age where they're gonna need to start. Well, they either being like unfireable, like some of the older generation, like the what's her name? She did the Prada film. What's that? Prada? The Devil Wears Prada. You know, those sort of actresses, really old actresses and actors, where they're the guy Gandalf, Ian McKellen, basically, or the guy who played Jean-Luc Picard. I can't remember his name. Really bad. I can't remember his name. But you know, unless they have status like those actors, then they're gonna find it very difficult to find work soon, because they're just gonna not be fit, I guess, or young enough. I think Hugh Jackman, I think, isn't he like in his 50s? He did really well with the Deadpool Wolverine film, even though I know a lot of people don't like the film, but I think it was a good send-off for that actor and for that character, for him to be able to play that part, and as well as get, you know, what everybody's been asking for, which is Deadpool and Wolverine, basically, a sort of showdown with those two characters. But I don't think Jason Statham has that kind of bank when it comes to his name anymore. It's weird, like Jason Statham and The Rock had massive amounts of name recognition, right? And now, like 2-3 years later, after the whole lockdown situation and all that sort of thing, you just don't really hear from them, do you? You don't hear from these actors that were massive before the lockdown anymore. In fact, you don't really hear anything from Hollywood these days when it comes to the next fresh talents and stuff, you know? It's kind of like everybody's scrambling to hold on to their jobs. I guess everybody is, to be fair, with AI coming around. It's affecting them even more. Yeah, exactly, Caster. He says, I don't hear anything about Dwayne Johnson now. No, exactly. He's not even called The Rock anymore, is he? He's not even that big anymore. He lost a lot of weight. I think he lost a lot of weight for a specific role that he's doing, I think. But yeah, he was everywhere. Like 2 years ago, he was everywhere. Maybe even a year ago, he was everywhere. And now, you never hear from him, you know? I have no idea. I mean, the actors of Hollywood, you just, like I said, you don't hear from them. It's supposedly supposed to be a Pirates of the Caribbean film with Johnny Depp, you know, being in it. You don't hear a thing. Not a single thing about it. You don't even hear from Johnny Depp. You don't even see Johnny Depp. It's almost like they all went underground and they just sort of hibernating, I guess you could say. Maybe they know something we don't. Maybe they know that the world's coming to an end or something, and they're just hiding. They're all in their nuclear bunkers or something, waiting out the war. Oh. Kesa says probably true. Cool. Yeah, you know what I think I'm going to do? I'm going to actually delete one of these legs, so I can actually work around it easier. Just because they're so close together, And I know that once I've done one leg, I'm just going to mirror over anyway. And you could probably do the same thing for the arms, you know, just work on one arm and then mirror over afterwards anyway. So I think that's what I'll do. Going to select one leg. I'm going to split hidden. I'm going to work on the other leg. Yeah. Cool. Now we can hide. We can just hide that for now. Don't need that on. Cool. So now I can actually get into the side here. You can see how messed up the side is with this character's leg because we didn't have access to it earlier because of symmetry. So now we can actually come in here and clean up this properly. Oh, I've got itchy nose. Casey says, we're all drinking from paper straws trying to protect the environment while the world leaders are just destroying. I've seen so many of those memes on the internet. Like, you know, we're all going green whilst the world is being destroyed, sort of thing, or or World War III's around on the horizon, sort of thing. I'm just thinking to myself, you know what? That's really true. Why am I recycling plastics when there's missiles going off halfway over the world, halfway around the world? You know, what's the point, basically? It's stupid. It's all stupid. Okay. What's going on there? Oh, itchy nose. Yeah, I'm gonna try to do some sculpting of this guy during the weekend, but I actually do have a project that I'm supposed to be working on for a client, so I might need to. I'll see if I can do any more to this during the weekend. If not, then it'll just have to be picked up on Thursday again. But, you know, slowly but surely we will get this thing done. Casey says, I wonder why they did it. Definitely not because they make more money from their oil companies. Yeah, probably. It says, I have to look after a golden retriever puppy from Saturday. Wow. Lucky you, or unlucky you if you if you're not looking forward to it. Is it a friend's golden retriever, or is it just a stray sort of shelter type thing that you do charity work for it? I can actually now take this foot and make it a bit more foot shape. Oh, maybe not. No, that's horrible. Just put that back. That was bad. Oh, it's your uncle's. Okay, cool. Yeah. just dumping the dogs on you whilst he goes and does something else. I hope you're charging him. You do anything for free, not these days. Oh, itchy nose, what the hell's going on? He's a musician, and no, I'm doing it for free. I love animals, so I volunteer to do it. Fair enough. As long as he doesn't take advantage of your generosity. Okay. I think I'm going to leave it there for tonight. I'm just going to mirror that over so that I have something good to show on my thumbnail. There we are. All right. I mean, we didn't do too badly. There's just so much more we can do. I'm sorry about the audio as well for this live stream. I have no idea what the hell's going on with my speakers or my headphones. I've got to figure it out before next weekend. But yeah, not next weekend, next week. Sorry. Yeah, it's not coming about. Not too bad. Not too bad. There's still plenty of room for improvement of this guy, and I will try to do some more work to it this weekend just to get it further along than we have it at the moment, because it's going to take, yeah, it's going to take a good long time to do otherwise. Casey says, I think you fixed the audio already. It seems to be good now. Oh, that's good. That's all good. Oh, right. I'm going to leave it there, guys. I am absolutely shattered, and it is way past my bedtime. I'm an old man now. Need my fucking sleep. All right. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. Please feel free to share, like, definitely give us a like on your way out. I hope everyone has a great weekend. Next week we are working on the Doom tutorial, so we'll have the Prowler to finish, or still not finish. We're on the Prowler's arms or legs next week. I can't remember which one it was. I have to look back at the stream. But yeah, so I hope you've enjoyed this live stream. I hope you enjoyed my crazy stories. I'll try and find some more on different films, watch some more documentaries. I like doing that. It gives me something to talk about whilst I'm working as well. Otherwise I'm just sitting here in 2 hours and just doing nothing. So yeah. Celestials, I will add the links to the suits that I found, those sci-fi suits. I'll put a link in the Discord, and I'll tag you in it, and I'll tag everyone in it if they want. But yeah, I hope everyone has a good weekend. Don't do anything too stupid, and if you do something stupid, don't get drunk. And I'll see you all on Monday. Take care, guys. Thanks for watching. If you're interested in more exclusive content and want to support my work further, then please check out my Patreon page at MLW_creative for more. Also, view past live streams you might have missed in Tier 3 tutorial support, where I will be archiving future streams moving forward. If you are interested in other full-length tutorials, brushes and models, then check out my online stores for more useful content. I would also like to thank all my subscribers and patrons for supporting me for this long. Again, thanks for watching and stay safe.